All right, we back with another one, family. Peace, peace. Welcome to Earth Goddess TV. If you're new, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, and on this channel, we basically talk about basic astrology and spirituality. And we are on basically Gemini in the seventh house. I'm about to say season. Gemini in the seventh house. So we're gonna complete the series. I did take about a week or two off because I wasn't feeling well. So now that I'm feeling better, I did say this in my previous video that the season probably will be in Cancer season by the time I actually get through. It's just because of how I was feeling. So stay through for the rest of these series. I will complete Gemini through the 12 houses, and I'll create more content after that. So here we have Gemini in the seventh house. In the seventh house, our seventh house represents the relationship aspects of our lives, our partnerships, whether that's business partnerships, friendships, associateships, contracts, just anything within the relationship realm. Now, Gemini here, this is a unique placement because this is more of a like relationship based house. And I believe Libra is the ruler of this house, and Libra is more of a more of a Venus type energy, and Gemini is more of a Mercury type energy. So still a unique placement with Gemini here. Gemini here would normally be attracted to partners who definitely are either intellectually inclined or kind of like outgoing and socially inclined. Now, normally with anyone who would have a Gemini placement here, their attraction, their love language is intellect, the Mercury energy. So if you know anyone who has this placement, they tend to attract partners who are very either intellectual or are very into intellectual matters. So this is one way to attract a person with a Gemini placement here in the seventh house. So basically, education and intellect and anything that's mentally stimulating is sexy to them, to the person with the Gemini placement here. Now, the Gemini here can be emotionally detached, depending on what else is aspected in the chart. Some would say that the Gemini is probably not the most grounded here because of the flighty, fickle energy that the Gemini can sometimes put off if they're not in the most balanced state. So Gemini here will have to be careful for, first of all, let's get on not attracting partners that can manipulate them to achieve things for them financially, or they shouldn't get into partnerships where they're manipulating their partners to achieve things for them, say in a relationship on a financial level, or just in any setting. You don't want to just be manipulated or manipulate people within this seventh house, because it does deal with partnerships and relationships. So with the Gemini placement here, you want to make sure that you're not being manipulated and that you don't want to put out that manipulative energy. Now, the great thing about the Gemini placement here, because it is a mutable energy, Gemini here would be very good with forming many different types of relationships with many different spans of people of many different walks of life. Gemini is excellent here. And this can be a point of good luck, because depending on, we all have those stories where we've never, say, would have been in contact or met a person if it wasn't for, somebody we've never, we've never would have ran into a certain person. Of fate or other things didn't make that happen. But with the Gemini, they kind of don't even really have to, depend on that, because they're naturally outgoing people, and them just working that Gemini energy and being socially charming and intellectual, they can attract many different types of people with them, and with that can come many type of blessings in many different areas in life. So that is a very good thing, placement here for the Gemini. Now, the type of people Gemini would be into, but being that Gemini is a mutable energy, they're not really fixed here. So it's kind of like they want to be stimulated, so they can be into like maybe same-sex marriages, or maybe different types of relationships, maybe like a polyamorous relationship, a polygamous relationship. I could definitely see the Gemini being okay with that placement here, because it allows them to kind of not be bored and stagnant, and it kind of gives them the variety with the people that they interact with. And that's the key here with Gemini, is variety, making sure they have that variety. And excuse me if y'all hear any noises, because I am sitting by a window and like I can hear it all. Sometimes it picks up on the camera, sometimes it don't. But anywho, so I wanted to touch a little bit on the negatives here as well, because I did say, they'll be into many different types of partners. They will have to be careful here because they're so like experimental and just want to be stimulated. They can have to be careful, again, like I said, not being in that manipulative energy and being hella flirtatious, especially if they're in a relationship, and they shouldn't be flirting with other people or dealing with people outside of the arrangement that they currently have. And this can lead to being emotionally unavailable, detached, aggressive, possibly physically if other things are aspected, but more so verbally aggressive, withholding like emotions and things like that. Fickle in the energy, not really setting particular times or dates to say go on dates or meet up and things like that. They can't make up their mind. The energy is kind of all over the place, and plus they're emotionally unavailable and they're flirting with everyone. So Gemini has to be careful with that here. Especially if you have any hard aspects to this placement. So just making sure that you are attracting people who say fulfill that intellectual and social charming need that you have, but also at the same time you want to make sure that they're also not feeding into your negative aspects as well, Gemini. So also too, I do want to jump into like the partnerships of Gemini here. That could also go in the 11th house, but that's more so friends and outer stuff. This is more like your interpersonal relationships with the people that you know. When it comes to good partnerships, Gemini could be a very good partner because how their mind works. And say if the person with the Gemini placement is say they own their shit, they're intellectual, they're socially charming, they're connected with many different people. This can be a win-win for anybody who's connected to the Gemini as a business partner, because of the connections that the Gemini could possibly have or possibly get them in for future endeavors. So Gemini could be very good here. And also Gemini is an outgoing sign. If they're not hella intellectual based, they're very good socially because they have that gift of, and people sleep on Gemini here because they think it's air and it's mutable, that is not intuitive. And that's not true, because what Gemini does, they have the gift of going in a room full of people. They can read the room within seconds and match whatever energy is in that room. So that can be very beneficial in many parts of life. What I can say, what Gemini have to be careful of here, is that you don't want to get so in the habit of trying to match different energies, to kind of fit into a certain space, Gemini, because you're very good at that. You can kind of get lost in, okay, well, I'm gonna match this energy, and with being in a position to where you're doing that so much, you can actually lose touch with who you are and basically your energy. So just be careful with that here, Gemini. So that was it for my Gemini in the 7th house placement. I will go ahead and do the Gemini in the 8th house. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video.